Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about putting, and particularly the shoulders, and really mostly the pec. Kind of this muscle here that we all know from bench press because we love, big, nice, strong chests. But when this gets tight, which is pretty common in today's age with phones or desks or cars or something, when this gets pretty tight, it pulls the shoulder forward, generally. We're making generalizations here. But it generally pulls the shoulder forward into what we call an internally rotated state. So it kind of goes down that way. You'll see hunched shoulders, you'll see engaged traps as everything kind of goes up here, particularly under stress or load. But when this goes forward, what we can see with putting is a lot of face rotation, or if it's the left one, the lead one, we can see a lack of face rotation, because generally when we putt, we kind of want the shoulders to be able to lock in place, either kind of pulled back just slightly, or we've got that nice round posture. We can see a lot of guys with kind of that kyphosis, that big rounded upper back, but in general, we kind of want a nice neutral posture as those arms kind of hang freely. If these are tight, if these are kind of pulled forward, it limits the ability to kind of go around. It'll kind of pin everything down, and you might see face rotate too much. If that right arm, if that right side is a little bit too dominant, it'll go forward this way rather than, as we know in the golf swing, we would love to see the shoulder kind of work that way. Same with the putting stroke. We'd love to see that shoulder kind of work around, but if this is really tight, it might go that way. It might just be hyper dominant and kind of closed. So if you're seeing yourself kind of over rotate the face, it could be because this shoulder is really tight and it kind of pushes through that way rather than being able to slide almost underneath, kind of releasing this way. If it goes that way, because it's super tight and it's super engaged, you might be able to open it up a little bit. Left side would be the opposite, right? Like if you want it to kind of pull back, kind of the shoulder blade pull back this way, if this is too tight and it stays rounded forward this way, that face might kind of go up that way. So if you find that you're over rotating your putter or under releasing it, check these and see if they're kind of pulled back. Because that way the shoulders can kind of rock back and forth and that face can kind of follow that nice arc. One exercise that I really like for that is if we're laying on our back on the ground, knees are bent, back is flat against the ground, we can take hands and we can open up this way without arching our lower back too much. We've got elbows on the ground, wrists on the ground. We can just try to slide up overhead without letting our back arch. We can kind of cheat and get some more range of motion that way, but with keeping low back flat to the ground, can we go up and down with wrists on the ground as we slide down and then slide up overhead. This is sort of that externally rotated state. It gives us the opportunity to sort of pull those back. And if we can keep those pinned in a little bit more neutral state, then as we putt, we can go back and forth with the shoulder. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. It's a little bit different. I'm not sure I've ever heard an instructor say that, but from learning about the body, if these are tight, we're going to run into problems even on putting.